the whole listing. There's a lot of stuff to optimization from, from the title and category. There's stacks of stuff to optimization. Most people, when they start off, they think just get the keywords, optimizations of keywords and title. It's far from that. So it's a whole lot to do and more to optimization. All right, so now another mistake a lot of people do is they don't get the foundations in place. You've got to get the foundations in place, like every single business, before you start to get going. So, setting the foundations first is so critical. First thing you want to do is get your name sorted out, your eBay username. Now, a name that you want a name that gives a feeling of trust and quality. Think about names that give the feeling of trust and quality. In Australia, David Jones. In America, Nordstrom. UK, Harrods. Those names give most people the feeling of trust. The other end of the spectrum where you don't want to be is things like the Reject Shop, the $2 shop, some sort of variety store, discount store. They do not give the name of trust. So what you do is you take your name, you survey it. You survey by going to, you don't have to pay, you can pay your surveys. You just use half a dozen family and friends and say, guys, in an honest opinion, does this my eBay username, does it give you the feeling of trust, of quality and trust? And it is a feeling. Or does it give you the feeling of cheap and nasty? I need your honest opinion, don't worry about hurting my feelings. If they come back and say, yes, it gives me the feeling of trust, quality, great. If not, rename it. You can rename your business once every 30 days. You can just go back to eBay and rename it. And when you've got that done, you then have to get a logo made. Really critical to get a professional looking eBay logo, sorry, not eBay, it's a professional looking logo made. It'll cost you a whopping $5. If you're really cash flush, get 3 made. And then survey them again with your family and friends and say, guys, honest opinion, is this a quality looking logo or is it cheap and nasty? If it's cheap and nasty, send it back. And then I'll show you where you can get logos done for $5, by the way. And by the way, that's US, so it's more. $6. Next thing you're going to do, you must get a listing template made. Absolutely critical to get an eBay listing template made. Many people avoid it, they just list the products, hope for the best. So, we've done that, talked about that. If you get stuck with names, there's a free site, wordoid.com, which will help you choose a name. Now, get logo made, done that. You can get them done at fiverr.com. There's only fiverr.com. You get amazing things done at fiverr.com. You can get a new wedding anniversary song made for $5. And get all sorts of stuff, including logos. So, which items to list on eBay? Proven items. Like it says here, 10 sold. If you click on that 10 sold, it will show you the dates they sold. So the criteria is you only want to list items on eBay that have sold by one seller for a price between $50 to $2,000, and they must have sold a minimum, rock bottom minimum, twice at a profit in the last 30 days. That's the criteria for one seller. Okay, so click sold listings and you can see the time they sold and the dates. So I ask you guys, how much would you, if this Chinese restaurant was across the road, how much would you pay for a main course there? $10? Right? What would you pay for a main course at this place? How much?
35, 30.
35, 40, okay. So, and quite possibly you could have the same chef, exactly the same food. It's all just the facade. It's all the differences. And this is why it's so critical to get an eBay listing template made. Because it's all about you looking professional, like a professional business. And the second reason to get a professional looking template made, it reduces competition. So when you list dropship items, and someone in this room comes and sees your listing, it looks like a dog's breakfast, they're just going to list the same item. But when they see your whiz-bang beautiful template, they're going to go, holy crap, I'm leaving that person alone. I can't compete with that. They leave you alone. So here's a plain eBay listing, no template. Here's one of our templates. Now we didn't make it, we just paid to do it. When we first started off, we used to, I'll get to this. When we started off, it cost us over 10 grand for our templates. 10 grand. Today, you can lose multiple zeros off that. It's less than $100, you can get a template made done. Professional template. Not by us, I'm not going to sell you anything. I'll see where you get it done from. So, as it says here, I'm a left brainer, I'm an analytical person, so it took me, I've thought this for a long time, but research from the Seoul International College suggests that 90% of consumers are influenced first and foremost by visual appearance. A template costs. So if you're comparing this business to a bricks and mortar, rule of thumb, for a cafe is about $1,500 per square metre, depending where and whatever. So an 80 square metre cafe costs about 120 grand to fit out. Cost to have a professional eBay listing template made, that's $100. A lot of people say, oh, so much money, $100. If they had any idea what this stuff used to cost us, because I just don't even go there. Fiverr.com, again, you can get put together made there. Upwork.com, tons of them. All right, be very, very, very careful about using any old listing templates. There's a lot of old listing templates out there that are not mobile compatible. Be very careful. As I showed you earlier, over 72% of sales come from smart devices. So you do not want to go use an old one. The world's changing. For those who haven't seen this slide, Pope being voted in 2005, Pope being voted in 2013. Spot the difference. The world's changed radically. So don't get involved in old technology. So let's do a quick thing about VAs, virtual assistants. KPI, spend 10% of your profits on virtual assistants, because they're the people who will build your business. But basically with a VA, you can buy 1 hour of life for $1. If you can get rid of 1 hour of work, you just bought yourself 1 hour of life to go and do whatever you want. Play with the kids, do stuff with your family, do your favourite hobby, whatever. $1 for an hour of life, bargain. Yep, maximise those days. So virtual assistants, the first VA you normally get is a product researcher, and that person, all they're doing is doing the product research. They're just doing column B and C. They're finding you more suppliers for column B, and they're finding more eBay dropship sellers for column C. That's all they do. One product researcher, full-time, 40 hours a week, can produce enough products to supply 3 listers. Each lister can do 3 to 6 items a day, and that one person can supply enough products for them to list. A lister is normally the second person. At first, you're the lister, then you outsource, and your third person is your order processor. Processes all your orders, also does your admin and your customer support. Google Sheets, this rocks. Before Google Sheets, we used to use a thing called Lotus Notes. Who's familiar with Lotus Notes? Is that the biggest nightmare in the sun or what? It's awful. Google Docs is free. Google Sheets, I should say, is free. So, while you're on your cruise ship, you open up your computer. This is live in the cloud. As it says here, you see your operators entering all your orders in. Date, ordered by. This operator of ours, that was Camille that did it. It's one of the amazing works for us. eBay buy ID, buy name item, sell price, shipping, sold price, order number, cost price, tracking number uploaded to eBay, who uploaded the tracking number, in this case it was the same person, eBay fees, PayPal fees, last column profit. So as you see on your cruise ship, you see the name Camille come up here, and you can see her type live while you're out in the South Pacific. This is free.
Where do we get that template?
You can just make it from that, or you can send your copy. It's just those columns. Pretty easy. It's just works just like Excel. But this is all free in the cloud. Unbelievably free. So if you do dropship, if some of your suppliers will ship overseas, ask them if they do. If they do, you get an extra 10% margin. GST free. So they pay the same price as listed, but then you claim back the GST. But your margin's went up 10%. All right, so just check the supplier. Now, just some dropshipping with Nido. I said to Nido, I'll give a quick plug. I'm not trying to flog their product. I don't work for Nido. I don't get paid anything for it. But Nido is just another tool you can use to do a dropship business. And it has many, many features to help. It automatically uploads PDFs of orders to your suppliers, among many other things. So it's just an Australian product. They're actually over by Telstra these days. It's just another product to help you automate it. So if you've got a large enough business, check it out. The features here, basically they're automatically sent. I'm not going to go into Now, another thing is though, frequent flyer points. You should be buying all your stock, paying all your staff with a credit card. That gives you frequent flyer points. If you're not, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. You know, frequent flyer points, you should be getting around 1 to 1.5 points per dollar. You can buy a multitude of things, electronics, phones. I put that iPad at the back of the room, that got purchased through points. You can convert points to cruise code and you can buy cruises. So it's not just flights, you can buy a multitude of stuff, pools, you name it. So make sure you're getting the best credit card that gives the best points. Some probably thinking, okay, what do you use? Well, right now we're using American Express cards, sorry, ANZ cards, but they expire or up for renewal in February, and we probably won't go with them again because they've dropped American Express. We used to have American Express card with each card. They don't do that anymore. So every year, I get my staff to go and check out the best cards. I've heard through the grapevine, Bank of Melbourne's the best, but we've done no research. So someone here might have some more knowledge about it than me. But just make sure you get at least 1 to 1.5 points per dollar. All right, so homework-wise, write down 10 power keywords in your column A. You have power keywords in column A. Search Google for suppliers which meet the 4 criteria. Write suppliers which meet the criteria in column B. Only list items which have a proven sales record and a proven sell between this price. Don't list items until the foundations are in place. Otherwise, your KPI is going to be way off. Make sure your eBay username gives you buyers a feeling of trust. Again, this dramatically affects your KPIs. Get a professional listing template made. Again, massive effect on your KPIs. So next, so we do this every 6 to 8 weeks. We're going to get into optimizing the listings. We're going to get into automating the whole shebang. So you can get rid of it, the whole lot, and get someone to do the whole thing for you with outsourcing. So just remember, done is better than perfect. So just before we wrap it up,